that what people don't know about being trans is you literally get abilities, and we're not like better than cis people, but we certainly have some, well, STEAM add-ons, let's just say that. For example, like the ability to change your voice. We as trans people automatically become voice actors as soon as we start voice training, going from sounding like The Rock to sounding like Noelle from Black Clover. The next sentence is something not very many people can achieve. And when I say it makes trolling in games, I mean, you guys gotta know what I mean. And if there's a guy flirting with you who doesn't know how to take the hit and back off, all you have to do is drop your voice like a couple decimals and he's gone. He's out the way quicker than you can say estrogen. And this ties into the whole conversation of code switching in general, which as an ability is amazing for non-binary folks who do voice training at least, because the non-binary gender fluid people who like know how to dress for each gender are already pretty amazing, but the ones who can look like both genders and do voice training to sound like both genders are unstoppable. There are many reasons for that, trust me, but the one I like the most is they get to choose what activities they do and don't do at any given moment. For example, a gender fluid person can have a conversation with somebody and it's like, yeah, Dad, let's talk about the importance of aerodynamics on vehicles and see how we can improve the efficiency on my dirt bike. I really liked your idea about Efren, come take this darn trash out. Huh? You know, Mom, I'm kind of just practicing doing my makeup right now. I really don't want to touch any gross things. That's how I would imagine it would go. But even just trans girls early in their transition can do the same thing too. And the voice is very euphoric, but it's also a saver when you just don't want to do a particular activity. And some people even take it to other avenues. The act of training your voice to essentially sound like a woman gives you the ability to train to sound like a celebrity or do impressions of other people. No one tells you to stop there once you sound like a woman. And a lot of people certainly don't. And another thing is when you're trans, you kind of get the ability to read men and women because you know all the secrets as it relates to why they act a certain way and just the secrets of men, knowing why a man does this or that. So you could navigate relationships better. I'm telling you guys, there have been moments where I just stop in the middle of talking to someone. I'm like, oh, that's why she broke up with me all those years ago. I would have done, because look, I'll be talking to a male and they'll do something I find annoying that I used to do when I was a male to other women. And as a woman now, looking back on it, I would have been very uncomfortable if I was the woman that old me was talking to. Is that weird, or does anybody relate to that, where you're just thinking back on how you used to interact with the opposite gender and you're like, oh, I was not doing a good job because you've now like stepped a little bit into their shoes essentially. So it's just those little soft secrets, you know? Like I was a man, I know when you're lying or being dishonest or straight up playing around with me. I can just tell. And then being a woman now and entering a relationship with another woman is a lot better because I understand where they're coming from and like we're often on the same page of things. You guys see what I mean now? Like there's layers to switching your entire gender, and the knowledge that comes along with it, like what you gain, is an experience I wish everyone had. Everyone should switch genders. I'm joking. I see the repubs in the comments right now. Oh my god, see, just look at Efron. The woke mob wants to give everybody sex changes. It's just a joke. Relax and take a chill pill. And an estrogen pill. Okay, that was the last one. That was the last joke I'm making like that, at least in the next 20 seconds anyway. Look, just like any power, there's a limit to knowing the ins and outs of both genders, and here it is. The longer you're trans and on HRT, the more you forget the life of being a man, or vice versa, depending on what you are. And you're stepping into womanhood, therefore forgetting all the secrets that they have. You can maintain it a little bit by like continuing to have all boyfriend groups, but at the end of the day, those instincts of being a man are leaving. Most trans femmes are probably on board with that. But another thing trans people are really good at for some reason is programming. And this is kind of a chicken and the egg story. Nobody knows. Do you program and then become a woman, or do you become a woman and then want to program? I don't know. All I know is a lot of trans people are either into programming or electrical engineering. And the best thing about trans creators in this space is they don't bend over for corporations or feed into greed. So a lot of them contribute to the open source community, which is something I commend them for. And also, they're just really smart. Talk to these chicks for 5 minutes and you'll be questioning what you've been doing with your life. And most of them just make stuff. But the cybersecurity one, they're a different breed. I'm talking about like the OPSEC freaks. You start wondering whether they've been planning meeting you for 5 months and then have like a planning whiteboard in their basement and monitoring your every move, pondering it up until that day when they accidentally bump into you. The stuff they know about security scares me. And it's different when they're trans. Some trans people spend a lot of time inside with just a mouse and their keyboard, so their knowledge is far greater than the normie computer science nerd. But besides computer stuff, and we all know they're great at that, I mean, let's just be honest, trans people have some pretty base politics. One of our abilities is critical thinking, and when we're not debating about it, we're pretty cool. I mean, we got anarchists, we got socialists, we got blowhighest. Oh, you didn't hear about that last one? I didn't either. I mean, it's new. Apparently, it's this group of trans people who believe we should have this plushy shark be dictator of our world and give everybody free estrogen. See, personally, I thought this was a little too far left, you know? But then I read the blowhighest manifesto. Am I really gonna say this? Then I read the blowhighest manifesto, and now I'm all on board. I'm a full blowhighest. But for real, you're inside, you read, you consume everybody's political opinions because they spit them at you simply because you're trans, even though you don't want them. You kind of have to analyze everything and develop critical thinking. And that's why a lot of trans people are just based. Okay, lastly, trans men say they gain more respect after passing as a man. I mean, trans men, confirm or deny this in the comments, but from what I heard, men finally start listening to your opinion and no longer pass what you say as emotional. Oh, and what do you know? As a trans woman, I can confirm I gained the power of being less heard and more talked over in a conversation with multiple people. Yeah, this is less of an ability and more just blatant misogyny. Like, cis men can no longer say that it's the same, because it's not. Passing trans people can confirm this. But seriously, I went from everyone pausing their speech to hear what I have to say to having to be loud to get my opinion heard, and then getting mocked for being loud. There's just no winning this. There's no winning it. Luckily, our voices will always be heard in the Trans Inc. Discord server that's just been growing so much with a ton of cool trans people. That's in the description. Also, I keep telling people to follow my Blue Sky if you want to hear me complain about things. Which, why are you guys actually going and following me there? I complain about stuff. I knew some people would want that. I knew it. And yeah, Twitch and the rest are down there in the description as well. I said we'll reach 2K subs on here at the end of last video. That was 4 days ago. Now we're almost at 3K. You guys are just so incredible, and I'll keep making content for you guys. I want to let you know it's just all greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next one.